my name is Oliver. Today I'm going to tell you a story about Babylon takes over again. After Ashurbanipal died, the Assyrian Empire fell apart, and Assyria's old enemies, the Babylons, took over Assyria's land. The Babylons wanted revenge. Assyria had destroyed Babylon, so now the Babylons destroyed Nineveh, Assyria's most beautiful city. They broke down the walls and gates, ripped the doors of Ashurbanipal's great library, and smashed hundreds of his precious clay tablets. Fortunately, some of the books survived so that we can still read them today. Then the Babylons settled down to rule their own empire. The Babylon Empire wasn't quite as big as the Assyrian Empire because the Babylons never took over Egypt. But it was almost as big. And for many years, the Babylons were the most powerful in the world. Babylon, the city flooded by Assyria, was rebuilt. The great Babylon king, Nebuchadnezzar, who had became king around 665 BC or BCE, spent much of his reign making Babylon beautiful again. He built huge walls all around the city to keep it safe from invasion. In one of the walls, he built a great blue gate decorated with yellow and white bulls and dragons, and named after Babylon's chief goddess, Ishtar. Underneath this gate, a great parade passed every year in honor of Ishtar. The gate became famous all through Nebuchadnezzar's empire. Nebuchadnezzar was such famous ruler that he became known as Nebuchadnezzar the Great. But he was not a happy man. Clay tablets and scrolls written during his reign talk about Nebuchadnezzar's madness. These stories say that for several years, Nebuchadnezzar actually lost his mind. One story about Nebuchadnezzar's madness is told about the book of Daniel in the Bible. The story says that Nebuchadnezzar was too pleased with himself. He thought he was a god. He even made an enormous golden statue for himself, almost 100 feet high, and told all his people to bow down and worship it. Here's the rest of the story. One day, the great king Nebuchadnezzar was walking on the roof in his palace of Babylon. "Look at this beautiful city I have built," he said to himself. "I am the most powerful king in the world. No one is greater than I am, not even God." As soon as he said this, the voice came from heaven. "Nebuchadnezzar," the voice said, "you have become too proud. You think you're greater than God himself. Now listen to your doom. You will act like an animal and eat grass like a cow until you admit that God is more powerful than you are." At once Nebuchadnezzar lost his mind. He ran out into the fields and lived like a wild animal. He walked on his hands and knees until his knees were tough as hooves and his fingernails were long as bird claws. He drank from rivers, slept under the bushes, and woke up in the morning wet and dew. His hair grew long and shaggy until he looked like a goat, and he ate grass like a cow. His people gathered around and at a distance and watched him. "What is wrong with the king?" they whispered. "He has gone mad." Finally, Nebuchadnezzar looked at the sky. "I'm not a god," he said. "I'm only a man, and God is more powerful than I am." And once Nebuchadnezzar was sane again. He stood up on his feet. He looked around him and knew that he was king of Babylon, not an animal. He returned to his palace in Babylon to rule his people once again. But never again he did claim to be a god. Now he knew that he was only a man. Thank you for your attention.